Hi, and welcome to today's Pilates session. Our focus for this session is for your knees. So if you are struggling with knee pain or you need to help rebuild the strength in your knees, whether that's through general activity, if you are a runner or you do any form of high activity and you feel that you need to improve the strength in your legs, help support the knee to make it stronger, and of course, more importantly, prevent injuries from happening in the future, then this session is going to help you. So all you're going to need is a mat, some space, no distractions. Make sure that you're physically okay to do the exercises. And if at any time you feel uncomfortable, feel free to rest and resume when you are ready. So grab yourself a mat and let's begin. We are going to start this session from the mat. We're going to spend all of the session laying down on our backs. So we're going to occasionally turn to the side, but begin on your back in a semi-supine position. Make sure you've got plenty of space. As always, no interruptions. Just use this moment now, this time, where you can focus on yourself. Be able to feel the awareness in your body. Be able to feel the muscles through your legs strengthening. We're going to be working not only on the big muscles, but a lot on those small muscles that help support the knee joint. So we're going to begin on our backs. We're going to just relax those arms, relax those shoulders, bring the feet nice and flat, press them evenly into the mat, and just create a mind-body connection. You're just going to take a moment, you're going to breathe. You're going to inhale through the nose, and you're going to breathe out through the mouth. Now, whilst you're doing that, you just need to take awareness of your hips. Now, you want everything to be as evenly balanced through the body as you can. So, with your hips, you're going to tilt the pelvis, tilting the pelvis to the ceiling and tilting the pelvis down towards the mat. When you're doing that, you're going to notice two things. One, you're going to notice that the arch in your lower back gets bigger. And then secondly, you're going to notice that your back will go completely flat. Now, you just need to find halfway between the two. So you have a natural curve that's just big enough for you to slide your fingers into the center. That will give you your natural curve. That will just align the pelvis in its position. That will just help support everything else. And then you can focus on your breathing again. So when you inhale, you will naturally feel your ribcage expand. What you just want to make sure you don't do is lift the ribcage and start to push the back. Just hold the back where it is and let the ribcage expand. And the same thing when you breathe out. Breathe out, let the rib cage relax, but don't let the back go completely flat into the mat. Hold that position and work through your breathing. Now, once we've got the idea there, and we've allowed the abdominals there just to work whilst we hold our body in its position, we're going to relax our arms and then take our legs into the tabletop position. Now, from there, your back will go completely flat or fairly flat into the mat. You're just going to let that happen because this is now a natural position for the back to be in. So don't force the back to now go into a position that it's not supposed to be in. Hold your tabletop from there and lower one foot down towards the mat. Breathe out and take it back. We're then going to switch over and work on the other leg as well. And we are just going to gently start moving through the hip on each leg. Now, if you're feeling okay, we can take this a stage further, and that is to straighten the legs out. Now with straight legs, if you're feeling any kind of tension in the back, you're going to return to the first option and bend the knees instead. If you're feeling okay and you want to carry on, you can then take it further by extending both legs at the same time. Puts a little bit more work on the abdominal area. Breathe in and come down. Breathe out and come up. Now, after a bit of time, those hips will get tight. You're going to really feel it through the front of those thighs. You're going to target about 3 repetitions on each leg, because the tightness in your hips will make those legs tight and will have an effect on the lower back. So when you need to rest, you just bring those knees in, we hold and we hug, and we're ready to change. So bring your legs back into semi-supine, just bring your arms out wide and try and keep the arms pinned to the floor from there. Knees and feet together in that semi-supine position and slowly drop one knee down. Try and keep the other leg still and then return. We're going to change. And just drop the knee, drop the hip as far down as you can go without moving on that other leg. As soon as the other leg moves, then you're providing assistance. Just let the leg move on its own. So we're going to do 2 on each side. Taking your time, there's no rush. And then you can keep your arms out. You can bring your arms in as well as you wish. Come back, and let's go back into that previous movement that we did. Either going with a tabletop position on those legs. Inhale to lower the foot, breathe out to take it back. Or if you wish, go with straight legs. Now, the longer you keep the legs off the floor, the harder it becomes. Keep in control. Aim for about 2 or 3 repetitions on each leg. And then, of course, making time to rest by bringing those knees in where we shall hold and hug. And then return to that semi-supine position. Take those arms wide. And then we're just going to drop them both now, dropping both hips to one side from there, coming back up, rolling the head the other way. If the lower back feels a little bit tight after that last move, especially if you went with straight legs, then use this as a way to just loosen and release. So we come back up. We're just going to roll over to the side now. So turn yourself onto your left, and then bring your head, let that support in the left hand. You can let it drop into the shoulder. Now let's work legs individually now. Starting on this right side, taking this hip, making sure that you lay side on. So when we work on this right hip, we're going to rotate. Now, we're only working from the hip. Everything from hip upwards needs to stay still. So you don't want to force the knee, because as soon as you force the knee upwards, you'll start to fall backwards. You want to stay exactly where you are. So with your right hip, your feet, your knees are together. You're going to go to the clamshell position. You're going to rotate that knee and rotate the hip to raise the knee. As you start to raise, you're going to feel the hip working, and a little struggle as well to lift. Now, don't force the knee up. As soon as you force it, you fall back. You need to control. You raise the knee to the point where you feel, right, that's just about enough. We then close the shell. And we keep going through that movement. We inhale to open. Each time we move, you'll find yourself being able to open a little bit further. We're just helping to mobilize through that hip joint, but we're mainly strengthening through that side. So your main focus here is a lot of work for the inside of your thighs. And these are all muscles that will help to strengthen that knee. So we're working each part of the leg, working those small muscles, and it's those small muscles that help support the knee. So we want to strengthen those areas. We strengthen those areas, the knee's stronger. That means it becomes easier to do day-to-day activities, helps prevent injuries, and if you do trip, you do fall, your recovery becomes easier because your knee is stronger. So after doing this about 3 or 4 times, we're ready to rest. So we're going to restack the legs, and we're going to work with this right leg again. This time we're going to straighten the legs out, raise this right leg up, hold it straight. You're just going to hold about just a little bit higher than hip level. If you go too high, you will start to roll back. Stay on the side. Now working with this right leg, just lower a little. You're going to do a little pulsing sensation. Breathing in, breathing out. You get the inside and the outside of the thigh working now. Now, after we've done that, maybe 5, 6 times, we're then ready to bend the knee and bring the knee up towards the chest. Take the leg back. Go about 3 or 4 times in this one, and then we're going to combine those last 2 together. Now, after a bit of time, that right leg, that right hip may be getting tired. If it gets tired, don't fight, just rest and come back when you're ready. So we continue again, and then we can rest. We're then going to go through those 2 movements that we did, and we're going to combine the 2 together. So taking the right leg when you're ready and raise. As we raise, we will pulse for 3, 2, 1. Then we shall bend the knee and bring the knee in. Take the leg back, extend, raise, so it's just about hip level, just slightly higher, and then return and bend. So when you're bringing the knee to the chest, you're bringing the knee so that's level with your hip. When you raise, it's just a fraction higher. And we go again. So we're going to repeat this move again 3 to 4 times. It might be less. It all depends on your hip. You'll know you'll get tired because you'll start to drop the leg a little bit lower and you'll start to fall backwards. When that starts to happen, you rest. So we are going to rest from there. Now, before we turn over to the other side, let's return over onto our back. Now, as we return on the back, we can work through the back of the legs now. So we're going to return to that semi-supine position. Bring those legs flat, bring those legs hip width apart, breathe in from the floor and peel that spine up. Lift that back into that bridge nice and high, especially on those hips. Imagine those hips are in line with your knees and with your shoulder. Make your way down. We'll go 3 times. So now for the second time, inhale, breathe out and lift. And lower and come down. And again, breathe out. Raise and then we lower. So when we come down onto our back, we are ready to switch. We're then turning ourselves over onto our right this time. Now, once we're on our right, knees and feet together, and from there, we are ready to work with that left side. Inhale as we open through that clamshell position. Breathe out and come down. and rotate again. Again, no force. Going to move slowly, going to move carefully so you can feel the range of motion going in. You can feel the muscles there working, and also making sure everything else stays still. If we go too fast, we end up using momentum, we end up using other parts of the body to assist. This part of the body, this hip area, this leg area needs to do everything without any help from anything else. The only way it becomes stronger is being independent and being able to work on its own. So again, we're going to target 3 to 4. And because the movements are slow, the movements are controlled, repetitions don't need to be high. Now, as soon as we lower and we can rest, we're going to go back into our sequence. We'll go straight into the sequence as we did on that right side. Start by extending the left leg. Raise the left leg above the hip and a little pulse, just a couple of times there. And then bringing that leg hip level, we draw the knee in. We come back, we raise and we pulse, just a couple of pulses, return, knee in, extend. That helps to strengthen the knee when we extend the leg back up. And return. And again, going 3 to 4 times on this side. Raise and hold and pulse. Come back, return, tuck. Let's go one last time from there. Keeping the leg long, keeping it straight. And then returning to bring it in. And from there, we shall relax on that right leg. So now we're going to change position. We're then going to turn and roll onto our front. Now start laying on your front. Relax your head by placing your head on top of your hands, which will be folded one on top of the other. From that position, just take your left leg now. Your left leg is long. You're going to lift the knee away from the mat. Start to lift the thigh up. Just the left leg on its own. And then we're going to lower. We're going to switch over. Switch to the right leg. Same thing. Raise the knee to start with, then start to lift the thigh away. So you're holding your leg. It's going to be roughly just slightly above hip level. Come back down. Switch again on the other side. Raise and hold. And come down. Switch again. Raise, hold, and lower. And then let's do them both together now. Raise the knees. Raising the thighs where you can. It's going to be a little harder this time. If that starts to hurt on the lower back, all you're going to do is stop, rest, and continue to work one leg at a time. If you're feeling okay, continue. Raise the knees, raise the thighs. Hold. And then relax. We're going to go back to the left leg. Now from here, just bringing the left leg to the mat and then raising that left foot. Just kick the heel of the foot towards the back of the leg and return. Kick back and return. Kick and return. Going to do a couple more. And then we're going to switch. Switch over, raise the foot, your knees staying down. Just for the moment anyway. And then after a couple more, we head and we relax the right leg. That left leg is coming back. Bend the knee once again. Foot facing to the ceiling. Start to lift the knee up and then bring the heel back and turn. You now go for a slightly more advanced position by lifting the knee from the floor and kicking the heel back towards the leg.
Now, if this becomes too much, too uncomfortable, you keep the knee back to the mat. Now we're going about 5 or 6 times from there. It may feel a little bit uncomfortable. It's something to build up to. So if you find this particular movement too hard, lifting the knee, you keep the knee down a step. Changing legs. Sometimes you may get a little bit of cramp in the hamstring. If the muscles in your hamstring are really tight, just be aware of any cramping. So you will then just keep that knee down on the mat. So after about 4 to 5, we're ready to rest. And we're then ready to change. So we're going to come back now from laying down on our front to then coming up and sitting into a child's pose. And we're going to sit back onto your heels, dropping your head between those shoulders. And then you are going to make your way back up. Now from there, from your child's pose, making your way into the box position, you can then get ready and to resume your day, just gently making your way up from the mat when you're ready and ready to carry on. That session has been done to help improve the strength in your knees, to help strengthen those muscles that help support the knees. So it's not only going to make your legs stronger, provide them with more toning as well, but it's also going to help support and structure the knee from each side, from the back, from the front, and from the sides. So when you go about your day-to-day business, your knees are stronger. It's going to reduce the effects of accidents and trips and falls. It's going to help improve your walking, your running. If you're very active and you do a lot of sport, it's going to help you enormously. And of course, if you do pick up any injuries and any accidents, it's going to help speed up the recovery because your knees will be stronger. Thanks for joining me for today. Take care, stay in good health, and I'll see you soon.